Chapter 1. Stepping carefully onto the newly sodded patches of grass at the side of the house, I stood by a hydrangea bush for a few minutes, admiring the graceful lines of my new Williamsburg chimney. Reassured that it was worth what it had cost to have it, I strolled across the lawn to the arbor near the back fence. After brushing dried leaves from the bench, I sat down to revel in the glorious October day. I marveled at the clear blue sky, Carolina blue as Lloyd called it, and the molten gold leaves of the ginkgo tree on the edge of Mildred's lawn next door. A light breeze ruffled through the almost leafless wisteria vine overhead as a feeling of peace and gratitude for our blessings filled my soul. All the carpenters, painters, paper hangers, plumbers, and brick masons were long gone, leaving us with a remodeled and redecorated house. Well, not the whole house, but 3 rooms had been remodeled and redecorated. Even better, extra furnishings like the bedroom rug, which had been rolled into a stumbling block in the hall, were out of the house, and the mattress was off the dining room table and back on our bed where it belonged. My house had been returned to its ordered self, and at least for these few minutes, all seemed right with the world. Sam, my darling husband, acquired late in life, but all the more precious because of it, was home from his travels, working now in his new office in the old sunroom upstairs and loving it. "The best and most efficient office I've ever had, Julia," he'd told me. But I think that was because I'd had the foresight to put in the semblance of a tiny kitchen in a closet, a coffee pot and an under-the-counter refrigerator so he didn't have to tromp downstairs every time he wanted something to drink. The hall bathroom was right next door, too. And Lloyd. My heart lifted as I thought of the boy foisted on me by my deceased first husband by way of a long-term adulterous situation, the boy who had become the center of my life, in spite of the fact that his mother was now well and truly married to Mr. Pickens, an event I'd almost despaired of ever happening. Lloyd didn't seem eager to leave my house for theirs. He was still in and out, spending the school week with Sam and me, and most weekends with his mother and Mr. Pickens 4 blocks away in Sam's old house. I worried a little that the odd arrangement would warp his character, but on the other hand, having 2 homes with 2 helpings of being loved and wanted couldn't be harmful. Both apprehensive and excited, he'd started his first year of high school, and now, after a couple of months, he was finding that a quick intelligence and a sunny disposition were making a place for him. I couldn't help but notice that he was still smaller and, in spite of his usual serious demeanor, younger seeming than his classmates, many of whom were on the verge of manhood with their husky physiques and voices. And actually, he was younger, for Hazel Marie had let him skip a grade before they came to live with me. Yet I had no worries about Lloyd fitting in. He was making new friends and meeting the new challenges set by his teachers. He was the joy of my life, and as I thought of him, I knew that at least for this moment in time, all was right with him and with the world. Hazel Marie had her challenges as well, and to my constant amazement, considering the fact that she'd had such a disreputable background to overcome, she was meeting them head-on. Who would have ever thought that the overpainted woman who'd flounced up to my door, bastard son by her side, announcing to me and the world what Wesley Lloyd Springer had been doing before he passed over, would turn out to be a sweet and valued friend, as well as an accepted member of Abbotsville society, such as it was? Those twin baby girls, born, I am happy to say, firmly within wedlock, took almost all her time, but she would have it no other way. I had made the mistake of suggesting within Letitia's hearing that she employ a nanny, or at least an au pair, to give her a rest from the constant demands. Hazel Marie rejected the suggestion. She couldn't turn her babies over to anyone else, but Letitia decided that when she grew up, she wanted to be either an au pair, once she learned what an au pair was,